sucks to switch tractors out all the time. And my main concern too is if the 7710 here goes down or has any mechanical issues whatsoever, we don't really have a tractor to replace that. Not in that class anyways. That's like a 100 horse tractor. This one's a 125. And the case, well, that's only got a small 1000 PTO on it, and it's 160 horse, so that's overkill. And the 5000s are 69 horsepower, so that's really not quite big enough to run the disc vine or any, not even really enough to run the round baler. So that's where this guy would come into play to save the day. And it just snows out, really depressing. But should be a good year. Last year I ran around 280 acres. This year we're going to be up towards 400 with some rented ground, and gained some customers as far as for custom farming, which actually isn't even included in that. So I'd be more towards 450 acres this year, which is plenty to do with one guy, which is me. I do have help, but definitely going to be hiring someone else pretty much full-time this summer to help me every day. Guy can't be in two places at once, which we ran into last year. While hay was needing to be raked, I was on the baler, should have been baling, but if anybody can't show up, well, then you're kind of in a pinch. And if you don't know anything about farming, when you lay your hay down on the ground, that's definitely worth a large sum of money. And if the rain hits you or anything breaks or gets screwed up, that's all for naught. And nowadays you can't really afford to have that happen too many times, otherwise it'll wipe a guy out completely. So it's kind of what we got. We'll keep making videos, see how it goes. I don't know, it'll be exciting this year. Hope it works out. Last year we grew prolific crops, just awesome. The no-till corn I planted green no-till corn, and that ran easily 200 bushel to the acre. The rest of the stuff kind of averaged 160 to 180, which is still really good for highland, but we did have a bunch of rain. If there's any such thing as drought protection, just because of the mat that I had created with the cereal rye, it really did protect that ground moisture and did not allow it to evaporate as fast as some other people in the area. And yeah, so I'm going to continue on that path with cover crops and 100% no-till. Some people would argue that this planter is a min-till just because it's got these coulters up front that opens. But either way, it works good. Can't complain about it. It's a little small. Does feel like you're pissing in the ocean to fill it. But hey, you got to start somewhere. Nothing's cheap farming. Not a darn thing. So, take this your combine, shut it off. Like I said, I just like to fire it up every now and then. It's just a lot easier than letting it sit for 4 or 5 months at a time and expect the thing to work. It's bitching at me in here. Park and brake? Yeah. Oh. You can hear that turbo. Ooh, is that a sweet sound? Yeah, I'm excited for this coming year. Feel like I have a good plan. Everything's got a backup plan, and some things have two backup plans. So if backup plan B doesn't work, we've got a C. And you gotta have those when you farm, otherwise you're gonna fail really quick. I've had shit happen, and boy, will that stress a guy out. Kind of like when I bought the big square baler. Field ready is what they told me. $9,000 later and a couple crops screwed up. Then it was really field ready, as they were to say. So, that's what we got today here. Hopefully people can subscribe and give me a thumbs up and share it. Gain some viewer audience. It's our goal here. We are not attempting to make any type of financial gain off of it. Just more or less share the story. You hate to not document something like this, you know. Not many people have a chance to go and farm by themselves. And I'm one of those that is fortunate enough to be able to do that, or at least attempt to do it, and do a good job at it at that, you know. Don't want to lose this view from my deck. Just get bigger and do a good job farming. Yeah. Grew up here. Hate to ever see anything happen to it. I've gone through some pretty crazy, tough times here. Yeah, shed tears, bled, everything. There's not a spot on this farm I don't know about. You know, it's just once you do it, it's in your blood. You can't ever forget about it. You can't not think about it. Yeah, well, that's for another time to talk about. So, again, thanks.